loves Parfums De Marly perfumes? I think we all do. If you haven't discovered the house yet, this is a good video for you. And also, if you already have perfumes from Parfums De Marly, this is also a good video for you, because I'm going to review 9 or 10 perfumes, I forget, from Parfums De Marly that I have in my collection. I have a pretty large collection. So if you want to find out my thoughts on Parfums De Marly feminine fragrances, just keep watching, because this is the Parfums De Marly house review. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. In this video I'm going to review and rank 9, I think, fragrances from the house of Parfums De Marly. It's one of my favorite fragrance houses, I should say. Each and every fragrance I have from this house in my collection I love. So it's gonna be difficult for me to rank these fragrances because they're all beautiful. It's going to be hard, but I will attempt to rank them. So I have 8 full bottles, and I love each and every one of them. And I have a sample size of 1 that I'm not a huge fan of. It's still a very lovely fragrance, but it's just not the one for me. So that's easy enough for me to start with, because I'm ranking my fragrances from the least favorite to most favorite. I have 8 full bottles of all I actually love, which is why I have full bottles, right? The only one that I don't have a full bottle of is the one that's ranking the lowest, obviously. See, I don't want to say that it smells a little bit, you know, it's not the right word to say mature. It smells a little bit dated in a way to my nose. The powderiness of this fragrance, I love a good powdery fragrance with iris, violet, any of those blue purple flowers, but this one, there's something about this, it just didn't work for me. So it's obviously Athalia by Parfums De Marly. I only have a sample, again, for the reason that, you know, it just didn't work for me. So yeah, this one, you guys, it's a beautiful fragrance. You know, I mean, all of Parfums De Marly fragrances are, they're just beautiful creations. But this one is just in particular not for me. It doesn't say, it does, I don't feel like myself with this fragrance on. You know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't suit my persona, my personality, my chemistry, you know. This one is, this has got beautiful floral notes like orange blossom. There's definitely iris in here very strongly. It's a very strong iris note. And some powdery notes in here, and there is a little bit of amber, but a load of musk actually. So it's very powdery, musky, white floral kind of scent. The blue purple florals, especially in particular iris, which I love, come through very much, but it's just something about the composition, I can't put my finger on it, that smells to my nose a little bit more dated than I would like to smell. It's just not, it doesn't suit me. It's really why I'm ranking this the lowest, not because it's a bad fragrance. So yeah, so ranking in the last spot is it number 9? Yeah, Athalia. From here on, it's gonna be super hard. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how I'm gonna rank these, because I gotta tell you, I love all 8 of these. All right, I will try my best. I will try my best. Okay, I will put at number 8 spot this one right here. This is Delena La Rose. Only because it's the lightest fragrance out of the 3 Delenas. The other 2 I super love, and I love this too, obviously, duh. I have a full bottle because I love it. But I'll rank this a little bit lower because it's the lightest out of the 3, and this is a summertime fragrance. And I do have other summertime ones here that I love more. For those reasons, I will reluctantly call this number 8. But this is such a stunning fragrance. By the way, as you notice, I don't even have to spray this. Although this is a light fragrance, it doesn't mean it has bad performance. So don't get me wrong. Now I can smell it right out of the atomizer. So this is the light, fresh, aquatic interpretation of the original Delena. In my opinion, the original Delena is perfect for right now, springtime. Oh, perfect with that, you know, little bit of green, sour nuances from the rhubarb, you know, it's perfect for right now. This one's perfect for summertime, in my opinion. This, you guys, you know, also has the beautiful lychee. It's kind of like a signature throughout the Delena line, all three of them. This obviously has that very juicy pear note and some bergamot in the opening, obviously for the freshness and the lightness. And of course this has the signature Turkish rose, and this has peony or Patalia, I forget, one of those two, which adds a very kind of soft feminine vibe to this fragrance. This has what they call watery notes that give you like that aquatic feel, very fresh aquatic feel. When I smell this fragrance, I picture pink roses floating on water, you know, like a small stream of water, you know, that beautiful image of the waters kind of flowing. That's kind of the image I get when I close my eyes and I smell this fragrance. It's absolutely lovely. There are other I think there are other floral notes in here too. This has a good blast of musk, which lifts it up. You know, musk tends to do that, kind of lifts up the base a little bit, gives it this sort of, I don't know, like this, you know, kind of lift to this to fragrances. The watery notes in here really make it light and aquatic and fresh and beautiful for summertime. You know, it's got a little hint of earthiness, which always, I think it's from Vetiver, always really works with rose fragrances, you guys. Rose and earthy, like a hint of earthiness, give you the kind of the image of a rose in a garden, right? So yeah, absolutely beautiful. This is one of my favorite summertime fragrances, which is why it's really hard for me to rank this at number 8. Now understand, when you have 8 perfumes you absolutely love, it's really hard to rank them. So I'm kind of like, it's like pulling a tooth, okay? I'm just doing this just for entertainment purposes, but if you ask me, really, I love them all, okay? All 8 of them, with the exception, of course, of Athalia. Again, reluctantly, I have to call this number 7, although I love this so much as well. This is a gorgeous, like, white yellow, it's mainly yellow floral fragrance I absolutely adore. I'll rank this at number 7. I'll tell you what the reason why I'm doing that. This is Safanad by Parfums De Marly. Again, a gorgeous fragrance. This is so sweet. It's a very sweet yellow floral fragrance, absolutely gorgeous. It sort of reminds me of a Micallef watch, but not. A Micallef watch, in my opinion, is even more beautiful than Safanad, but Safanad is gorgeous too. They're different yet similar. It's hard to kind of put my finger on it. They're both sweet yellow white floral fragrances with a lot of vanilla, so some similarities. This starts with a very, like, opens with a very juicy pear note with mandarin orange. You know, mandarin orange, it's a very sweet, more syrupy kind of a citrus instead of being like a sharp, fresh kind of citrus like bergamot, you know. So I love that, you know, because mandarin orange goes really well with sweet yellow floral fragrances, especially. This has got orange blossom, ylang ylang, and I believe a hint of iris with a little powdery hint. Loads of vanilla, which is what makes it really sweet. And to complement the vanilla, there's amber as well. Amber and vanilla really go well together, and amber gives it, like, you can tell by the juice color, there's amber in it, quite a bit of amber in it, which makes it very sexy too. And that creamy, sensual sandalwood. It smells, like I said, it smells kind of, if you know what Emicloth watch is, it's along those same lines. If you can imagine the gorgeous yellow florals like ylang ylang, you know, it's a yellow white floral fragrance just like watch, that's very sweet with a lot of vanilla. But this is a little bit different in the sense that this might have more of a citrus nuance to it, I feel. And one other thing, the performance of this fragrance isn't amazing, which is why I'm gonna force myself to rank this at number 7. Of course, the secret is to spray on your clothes, on the inside of your clothes, and or overspraying it. And then of course layering combinations help to kind of like layering with body care, you know. If you are afraid of messing up the fragrance by using a scented body care, then use like unscented oil, like jojoba oil. You can use that. There are so many unscented oils you can layer together, which helps kind of keep it on longer. I did a video about making fragrances last longer a long time ago, do's and don'ts of it. Actually, I might do like a new version of it with a different angle. Let me know down in the comment section if you want to see that video. Okay, so yeah, so that's the only reason I am, you know, ranking this at number 7. Although I love yellow florals, you know, I'm crazy about ylang ylang. I love like white yellow floral fragrances, the sweet ones especially. Number 6 is this one right here, Cassili. This is also a gorgeous yellow floral fragrance. This has frangipani. You guys know it's my number 1 yellow floral note. Why am I ranking this at number 6? Because I am having to. You guys are forcing me to. If you ask me how I rank these, I will say like I love all of them all like the same, but in different ways. But anyway, just for the sake of the video, I'll say this is number 6. This one is this beautiful, beautiful yellow floral with a very prominent frangipani note. Ah, I love that. This has, you know, I think some red currant in the opening, some floral notes. This includes, you know, frangipani, like I said, and a little mimosa, which is another beautiful yellow floral. But it's more of a, how do I explain mimosa? It's kind of a bright, slightly powdery, slightly green kind of floral note, you know. Kind of makes me kind of feel like it's kind of bubbly. I don't know, you know, when you smell it. This has got a very juicy plum note. I love plumminess in fragrances. Whew. It's what I think gives this like substance and that juiciness to this fragrance. I think this also has Patalia, if I'm not mistaken. And this has, oh, my mouth is watering, I don't know why. This has loads of vanilla in the base with tonka bean, which makes it even more vanilla-y, because tonka bean is kind of like the deeper version of a vanilla. There's loads of sandalwood. That sensual dry down is a must, you know. Ah, so beautiful. This is very tropical kind of smelling fragrance. I love to take this on tropical vacations. Summer vacations period, doesn't have to be tropical. You can wear this in the summertime. Highly recommend for summertime, especially. In my opinion, yellow florals are better for summertime, unless it's loaded with musk. Then it's good for spring, if you ask me. Musk and spring go really well together. Yeah, absolutely adore this one. Performance, I would say this is about the average performance, like 5 hours, which is the average length, you know, that you should expect from a fragrance. That's like normal, you know. It's not super long lasting, but also not poor in performance. It's a nice fragrance that lasts a normal amount of time, okay? And of course, if you overspray and do all the other things that I just mentioned earlier, then of course it'll last longer. So number 5, right here in my hands, this is the latest release from PDM. This is of course Valaya. I've already done a full review of this fragrance for you guys. Check it out. I will link it up here and down in the description box for you. Ah, you guys, this is absolutely gorgeous. This fragrance did not get justice. Justice was not done to this fragrance in the reviews on YouTube. I'm telling you, this is actually quite strong. You know, for a very light kind of fragrance like this, you would think, but it's quite good with like, it's quite, I wouldn't want to call it potent, but it's got teeth, okay? And that's what impresses me about this fragrance. I love this frosted glass bottle. Oh, you guys, this is so unique. Yes, I said unique. I said unique because this has very unique qualities about this. I'll get to that in a second. This opens with this beautiful mandarin orange and bergamot, you know, so it's got like a nice mix of, you know, sharp citrus and then not so sharp, more syrupy, sweet citrus with a juicy white peach note, which is lovely in the opening. This is obviously, I forgot to mention, this is an orange blossom fragrance. You can definitely smell the orange blossom, but it's not your average orange blossom fragrance, I'm telling you, my friend, because this is unique. Why? Because this is blended. The orange blossom, and I'm sure there are other white florals too, but they're not very dominant. I'm gonna assume there are other white florals, but the orange blossom is what's really dominant. And they blended it with something called Mahonium nymphal. It's a type of an aldehyde. You guys know aldehydes are so gorgeous, especially the contemporary type of aldehydes. They've invented so many types, you guys. It's not your grandma's aldehydes, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. It's not Chanel No. 5 type of aldehydes, and no, I don't think it's grandma's type of fragrance. Actually, I've come to really appreciate it for what it is. It was a very popular fragrance when it first came out, and it still is. Guess what? It's one of the most sold fragrances in the world, even today. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I appreciate it for what it is. It's a gorgeous vintage. It's a vintage classic fragrance, okay? Is it my favorite? Do I reach for it every day? No. But what I'm trying to say is it's not the type of aldehydes that you find in Chanel No. 5, which by the way is why Chanel No. 5 is very famous, because of the aldehydes, okay? Aldehydes are very alluring, I guess is the word that comes to my mind. Yeah, so there's this beautiful kind of contemporary aldehyde in here that's blended so well with that orange blossom and the musk in the base, you guys. The musk, you know, as usual, it's like pow, you know, like it's like that very sexy, edgy, uplifting kind of scent, you know, that musk adds to fragrances. Musk is a must, as I always like to say, okay? So yeah, and then in the base, not just musk, there's a good woodiness in the base. It's a nice woody base with musk. There is actually a Kigala wood in the base, which is kind of like the new oud, okay? A Kigala wood is having a moment right now in perfumery, kind of like, you know, it's exotic now, just kind of like oud has been and still is. A Kigala wood is a little bit, slightly, it's woody with a little peppery hint and a little bit of earthiness, kind of like patchouli, but not like patchouli. By the way, I'm so glad this doesn't have patchouli. The slight earthiness you get in this fragrance is actually from vetiver, which is a very soft kind of earthiness, not sharp like the patchouli kind of, you know, patchouli, you know, the patchouli kind of earthiness. So this is vetiver. It's a very soft, very woody, complementing woody. Like patchouli kind of earthiness complements gourmand notes, in my opinion, and vetiver kind of earthiness complements woodiness, in my opinion. Does that make sense? This has ambroxan in the base, which, you know, again adds to that woodiness, but also like gives you like this like marine kind of vibe, which is nice in the base, and especially in a fragrance like this. A nice amount of vanilla, but it's not like a bucket of vanilla. It wouldn't have been right for this fragrance. There's vanilla, but just enough to blend it well, not like sweet bucket of vanilla. The musk is what makes this very kind of edgy and sexy in a way. So this is, you guys, is a very like a fragrance that goes from elegant to sexy occasions, okay? It's like a fragrance that gives very elegant, like sophisticated vibes, but also kind of alluring, you know, not sexy in a kind of raunchy kind of way, but like sexy in a classy kind of way, you know, that type of fragrance. So it's a very alluring, very feminine, very sophisticated yet attractive fragrance. Not very many people understood this fragrance right away. First of all, you guys, when you're listening to people review fragrances, make sure these are people who know what they're talking about. You know, it really pays to listen to perfume reviewers in the first place, like people who actually review fragrances consistently and know notes and everything, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, so absolutely gorgeous at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is this beauty right here. This is Oriana. You guys, everybody loves this. Who doesn't like a lovely, sweet, soft gourmand, right? Everybody does. This one is not very old. This came out last year, beginning of last year, I forget now. Again, great fragrance for right now, springtime. You gotta love a good marshmallow kind of fragrance, which is what this is. This has beautiful citruses in the opening. You get that sweet kind of syrupy mandarin. You get bergamot, you get lemon, bunch of citruses. Actually quite a few citruses in the opening. Let me tell you why that's significant in a second. This one has got that orange blossom, just kind of like, a lot of people compare this to Kilian Love Don't Be Shy, but they're not the same, okay? I'll tell you why. But it does have similarities in the sense this has orange blossom, marshmallow, kind of giving you those general vibes of Love Don't Be Shy. But this one is a little bit different. I'll explain in a second. So this also has beautiful juicy fruity notes like raspberry and blackcurrant, which gives you this blast of juicy freshness, you know, the juicy blackcurrant. This is a very kind of lactonic fragrance too, from the whipped cream note in the base, and the marshmallow really make this a soft gourmand fragrance, very beautiful. A big dose of musk, which lifts it up, and amberette as well. So how this is different from Love Don't Be Shy is because this actually has a stronger citrus accord, which cuts through the gourmand notes, the sweetness of the gourmand notes. So it's a little bit lighter feeling, smelling than Love Don't Be Shy, which is a little bit more sweet. I think it literally has like sugar too. This is, don't get me wrong, very sweet too. But the sweetness is kind of, the citrus kind of cuts through the sweetness in a way. Do you understand what I mean? And of course this has whipped cream and giving it the lactonic vibe, which the Love Don't Be Shy doesn't really have. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Very feminine, so feminine. Nothing is more feminine than Oriana, okay? A beautiful fragrance in my opinion to wear in springtime, but you can wear it in summertime as well. Daytime or nighttime wear, but I prefer daytime. Coming in at number 3 is of course the beauty that got it all started. This is of course a Delina, the original. This, you guys, when it came out, it's one of the most unique, groundbreaking type of fragrances. Now you get a lot of this type of fragrances where from a lot of different fragrance house that rose with the sour greenness that cuts through the rose, like everybody's doing it now, but this is what got it all started, okay? Quentin Biche, the perfumer behind this fragrance and many others, he is brilliant. Let me tell you that much. He's amazing. This of course has that signature, what do you call it, rhubarb note in the opening, like all 3 Delinas. Of course has that Turkish rose, that's like kind of like the signature of the Delina line. This has that rhubarb right in the opening, which adds this like greenness, sourness sort of to the fragrance, which is what made this fragrance stand out so much. Nobody had done that before this fragrance. And there's bergamot giving it even more like a citrusy freshness, a little hint of nutmeg, hint of soft spice, Turkish rose, that signature, like I said, with Patalia or Peony, was it Peony or Patalia, I forget. peony or Petalia, I forget. Other, you know, or peony and Petalia. Anyway, other beautiful floral notes too. Loads of vanilla, of course. This has a little bit of incense, I think, very tiny hint. Now in exclusive, which I will talk about here in a second, the incense is a little bit more heightened, and that one actually has oud too, I believe, which makes it more deeper. I'll talk about it in a second. Lots of musk, earthiness from, I believe, vetiver, some woody notes. Really what made this fragrance special is that, you know, very original idea of doing this beautiful soft rose, Petalia, peony type of fragrance with a green note that cut right through the sweetness of like vanilla and the beautiful softness of the florals, right? So that's like what's really original about this fragrance. It's not original anymore because everybody else is doing that too, or the other lot of other fragrance houses, but this is what got it all started, which is why I'm honoring this and still considering this high up on my list. Okay, Delina the original. And of course the next one, number 2, is exclusive, Delina exclusive. Now the Delina the original is for springtime, La Rosée is for summertime, and this, my friend, is for wintertime. In my opinion, this one is deeper, I wouldn't say smoky per se, but no, it's deeper, okay? This is the same lovely, beautiful Delina fragrance, but with more substance. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit smokier, so I don't need to go into every detail and every note. This has pretty much like that signature lychee and the Turkish rose, just like the other two, which are like the signature notes. But this doesn't have the sourness from the rhubarb. There's no rhubarb in here. This is more deep. It's not that sourness, you know, sourness isn't there. This is deeper because the incense, I think, in this one is more prominent. I believe it's, I think, in the middle in this one, so it's stronger, so it's a little smokier. In addition to those other notes I mentioned with Delina, this also has an oud note, but it's not your like very oriental or barnyard kind of oud. It's not, you know, it's a very blended oud that is not strong. You can't even tell there's oud in it, but it gives it deepness, I suppose, right? And makes it a little bit more oriental. And I think it's better for colder months, for winter time. And then, the number 1 fragrance of all my Delinas. This is right here. This is Meliora. You guys, I love Meliora because it's the most feminine, goddess-like, beautiful fragrance. I hear that it either used to be or still is Salma Hayek's signature scent. Okay, I heard it somewhere, I forget where. But anyway, this one, you guys, oh my God. This is so unique and juicy. When I smell this fragrance, it's dripping with the femininity and it's very juicy. My mouth is watering from the juiciness. The juiciness comes from that very juicy blackcurrant burst of juiciness in the opening. And it has cassis too, which is the blackcurrant, leaves of blackcurrant. So has a little hint of green, which is just perfect. It has some like red berries and other kind of fruity notes too. This is quite a bit of a fruity fragrance. It's a floral fruity fragrance. This has some of my favorite beautiful floral notes like Lily of the Valley, which is one, in my opinion, one of the most divine smelling florals ever, but one of the most divine smelling white florals ever. And this has ylang ylang and rose. I mean, name it. I love them all. A big dose of vanilla and some musk. You guys, this is just, how do I describe this fragrance? I guess the best way to say it is that it's dripping with femininity. Makes me feel like a sexy, you know, it's very, it's pretty and it's kind of innocent in a way, but also kind of sexy in a very unsuspecting kind of way, you know? If you know what I mean. You know, there are actresses who are not obviously like, what is a good example? Gosh, I can't think of one when I need to. like actresses who are very kind of innocent but still sexy, innocent looking but sexy, you know, that kind of fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. It's fruity, it's juicy, so beautiful. I love this. I mean, I bought this like late last summer, and I only wore it last summer because, you know, once the season went past, and then I couldn't wear it because I had to wait for this summer. I'm gonna wear it to this summer too, but mark my words. But look at the dent I put into it just last summer. Also keep in mind I have 400 fragrances in my collection, if not more than 400. I mean I have to rotate through, but look, still I put a huge dent into that. What does it mean? What does it say, right? So yeah, it's obviously my favorite fragrance. So you guys, that's it. That's my beautiful collection of gorgeous feminine Parfums De Marly fragrances. What do you think about my ranking? I mean, this is all personal preference. Keep that in mind. I'm sure you guys out there, you'd rank this differently, but this is how I rank them based on my preference, okay? I love them all with the exception of, obviously, Atalia. Let me know how you would rank these fragrances. What are your thoughts on Parfums De Marly fragrances? Let me know. Chime down in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys. Even if I take a few days, I always respond to you. If you have any questions, ask me down in the comment section. So you guys, if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel right down there, the black button. Go ahead and subscribe. It really helps me grow my community. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will see you guys in my next video.